In this tutorial, what we'll be doing is creating what's called a Cloud9 instance or a Cloud9 IDE. We'll be using AWS Cloud9 to actually type our code in and execute our code. So we're going to have to log back into AWS, and then we're going to go through the process of doing this once to create where we're going to be typing our code, and then from then on it'll all be set up for us. So first thing we do is actually go to Google, and to log into AWS, you just go AWS Educate and find login. That's the easiest way to find this URL, which is kind of hard to remember. So since we've already joined, we don't need to join, we just need to sign in. So we click sign in. I'm logged in as another person, so I'm just going to log out to show you how to do it. And we type in your school email and your password that you set up for AWS Educate. This page should look familiar. That's where you were last time when you signed in. Once you're here, go to My Classrooms. So in there you should see a listing of the classes that I've given you access to. So select the correct classroom and say continue. Once again, this is a one-time thing, so you just have to scroll through all the agreement and say I agree. And you know you're in the right place if you're at where it says you have $50. If you select up here where it says My Classes, you should see the one classroom that you have access to. So click on AWS Console, and that will pop up a new window. If for some reason it doesn't pop up a new window, you probably have window blocking software, and you should see a little box show up in the corner of your URL, and you'll have to give it access to pop up the new window. Under Find a Service, in here, if you just type in Cloud, you'll see Cloud9, and select that. So this is where we're going to create the environment where we're going to type all of our code. So we're going to select Create the Environment. We're going to put our course code in. You can, but you don't need to put a description. When you're putting the course code in, just put the course code. Don't put anything else. Don't put any spaces. Don't put any special characters. Okay? Next step. We're just going to leave most of these as pre-selected. The one we're going to change is platform. It says Amazon Linux, just for ease of use and compatibility with most other things you will search up on the internet. Most people use Ubuntu, so we're going to select that. Okay, that's the only change we're going to make. Everything else you leave alone. In particular, leave this alone. What will happen is 30 minutes after you leave typing code, it will automatically shut down your instance, so you're not wasting time and money on the instance. Then we're going to click on Next Step. So it's just reviewing. This is the environment you want to set up. It was the name you gave it, and we're using Ubuntu, and we say Create Environment. Now, this is going to take a few minutes. It has to go off to Amazon. It has to reserve a server for you. It has to load the Ubuntu Linux on that server that you picked, and then it has to load the software that we're going to be running, which is this Cloud9, that will actually let us type our code. So, as it says, it's going to take a few minutes. You just have to wait and let it go through its stuff and do it. As you can see, it's saying connecting now. So the server is provisioned and the software is loaded onto our server for us, and now we're going to be connecting through on the web to actually access our environment on AWS. And there it is. That's all you need to do. This is the environment we're going to be using. The name you typed in is up here. Okay, so that was important to make sure you type the name properly. And every day when we go to type code, this is where we're going to be typing it. For now, we're just going to leave it as is, and we're going to have future lessons on how to use all of this.